So before we start out, I think it would be awesome if you could just tell people what you actually do and why you're here today.
Okay. So I'm here because you invited me to talk about quite a special experience of mine. I've been doing IronMan 7.3 to talk about that. And what I'm doing, a lot of things actually right now. I've been studying sport and history. I have a master's degree there.
All right.
And been doing personal training for the last 4 years. I've been teaching kids for 3 years.
All right.
At a high school. And my sports background is I've been doing a lot of basketball.
Yeah.
I've been playing in the second highest league in Austria.
All right.
So this is actually my sports background.
Yeah.
But since then, I think would take up the whole interview if we would talk about my whole sports biography.
Yeah, I thought so much. So what would you say is something that you specialize in when it comes to being a personal trainer?
That's the big problem, I would say.
You specialize in everything.
Well, not really. No, I'm not really a specialist in anything actually.
Okay.
So what I've been doing, of course, because of this basketball background, I've been doing some athletic training, and been doing some pull-ups and stuff like this when I was like pre-20s.
Yeah.
And I've been doing some plyometric stuff, trying to jump higher, of course.
All right.
I tried to dunk a basketball. That's
classic. Yeah.
That's the goal you have if you play basketball. So this is my like the first background I'm from.
Yeah.
And then since I'm 20, I started studying sports science.
Yeah.
It goes to all kind of different areas. I've been doing some climbing. I've been doing some more ambitious climbing. I don't know, rock climbing and stuff like this.
Yeah.
I've been doing endurance sport most recently.
Yeah.
I've been trying to improve the main lifts like the deadlift, bench press and squat.
So you go in like every direction, you work in every direction, and some things you're more interested in.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to focus on one goal.
Yeah.
And then I'm going for that, like maybe it's half a year, maybe it's a year, maybe it's even longer.
Yeah.
Trying to get more familiar with the movements and stuff like this.
Yeah.
I don't know, we've been talking about Ido Portal for some time. Animal movements, mobility, stuff like this. So I'm trying to have a topic, take care of that and do my research, take care of that topic.
Yeah.
And then move on maybe, or stick with it for a
little
longer.
Yeah. All right. So you're basically, do you get that problem that you find a topic you're really interested in and then you focus like 100% into it and you get lost in it and then you have a problem finding something else, or do you get fed up with stuff and then move on to the next thing?
Exactly. The second one.
Okay.
Exactly. Completely the second one. It's more like you try to improve. Like for example, when I started with personal training, I was training with a professor of mine from university. Yeah. And I've been doing a lot of Olympic style weightlifting. So I've been doing the snatch and the clean and jerk. Yeah. And I was doing that for. Well, I've been doing accessory work and stuff like this as well, like the squat and deadlift and overhead squats and stuff. But I've been focusing on those two lifts actually, clean jerk and the snatch. And I was doing I started with 70 kilos, went on 80, 90, 100. Yeah. Eventually, and then I was like, okay, last time I see you training with the deadlift, you put on those 1 kilo plates.
Yeah.
And for me it was like, okay, and then?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What's then?
Yeah.
You put on the 0.5 kilos.
Yeah.
You don't become more athletic. You don't become more fit.
Yeah.
Even though fitness is like quite a hard word, quite a hard topic.
Yeah.
I don't know to wrap around. I want to become more fit.
Yeah.
What does it mean? Is it
it doesn't really mean anything. Yeah.
So I figured out this was not really my. Let's say we have a profile of skills that we want to train. Yeah. And I was like here with my clean and jerk and my snatch. Yeah. But my mobility was lacking. Yeah. So I figured out, okay, to become more athletic, I need to work on other stuff.
And that exactly brings us to the question, because you have a degree in like sports, you're studying medicine, you've been training for a long time, you've been a professional athlete and everything, so you have a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience when it comes to training. And this is why I actually have you here, because I wanted to know you've been working to train for IronMan.
Yes.
And that's totally different than what I know about you that you usually train for. True, yeah. So how did it come that you wanted to take part in this?
Well, first of all, it's an Ironman.
Yeah. Okay.
That's something. It's like for sports people, that's a main thing of fitness. I don't know. You can go to the CrossFit Games or stuff like this, maybe.
Yeah.
Become the fittest nurse.
Yeah.
But Ironman, everybody can attend.
Yeah.
So this is something I wanted to. And it was just the 70.3. I have to make sure I'm not.
Dude, that's still really impressive.
But that thing is just like you're really fit if you do endurance-wise. You build a tree. I don't know. You get kids. Become parents. You build a house.
Yeah.
Become an Ironman.
Yeah.
Big things on your bucket list for your life, more or less.
Yeah.
But the thing first, I met with a colleague of mine in school.
Yeah.
Was doing triathlon.
Uh-huh.
And I've been trying a triathlon 2 years ago, just attended it without training. It was quite interesting because you just go all out.
Yeah.
And this is when I fell a little bit in love with more endurance sports.
Yeah.
And so I tried, maybe you should give this longer endurance a chance.
Okay, well, so you went from mediocre endurance training to like hardcore endurance training, because Ironman is like swimming and running and stuff like that, so it's really taxing on the body. How did you change your training method to go from what you did before to full out endurance destruction?
I think I started doing that, going full out for endurance in January.
Yeah.
Maybe in October, November I started, and it came, let's say, organically.
Yeah.
It was like it transitioned slowly.
Yeah.
So what I have to do some, I don't know, advertisements there.
Yeah.
I bought myself a Kicker Core. That's a smart trainer.
Okay.
It's a thing where you can connect your bike to the computer and you see yourself.
All right.
I was doing, I don't know.
Like a Fitbit for your bike.
Like a Fitbit for your bike. I don't know. People who do endurance sports, they know Swift maybe.
Yeah.
Swift
I've heard about Swift. Yeah.
Yes, you have the avatar in your screen. And
yeah.
you just drive through Innsbruck, even though you're sitting at home.
Okay.
It's raining outside.
Yeah.
And what it does, when I started that, I started to really quantify my training.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing. If you go to endurance, you start quantifying a lot.
Okay.
Like a lot.
Well, for the layman here, what does it mean to quantify your training?
Well, I've been using apps. I've been using my Garmin connector.
Yeah.
I have Strava.
Yeah.
I have Swift. So those are only 3 things that I've been working with.
Yeah.
To quantify, to track my training.
Yeah.
So I know exactly what's my VO2 max. I know what's my FTP. I know how much I was doing 6 months ago, and I know what I was doing 8 months ago. I know all my trainings because they're all saved in Strava.
Yeah.
And you see, because this is the big thing, when you go into it, you see also your recovery time.
Yeah. Stuff
like this. So you just, this is when I started to go all the way to endurance, because if you do a big session for like a high intensity interval session, you can't do squats the next day.
Sure, yeah.
And if you do squats, the problem is when's your next bike session?
Yeah.
And you should at least do like, let's say 10 hours of training a week.
Yeah.
If you want to be more or less serious about Ironman or about triathlon.
Yeah.
And to fit in your other stuff, that's quite challenging, I have to say.
Okay, so we're gonna get to the details about what exactly you were doing to train later. But what you're saying basically is you're trying to get every single edge that you can get to, like, find out more data about your training, to find out what you can do better or worse, and you're using all kinds of gadgets and apps and whatnot.
Yes.
Okay, so basically, you're investing much more than just going to the gym and doing some workout and then going home. You're actually preparing for a challenge.
Yes.
How is that different than preparing for a personal goal, do you feel?
Well, that's a personal goal for me, the challenge to overcome that. So what the difference, there's not really a difference, because
so you actually prepare for your personal goals just as much as you prepare for a challenge. It's exactly the same.
Well, depends how big the personal goals are. I think of course, there's a thing where you go like, this is your main goal.
Yes.
And then you have, you go down and have smaller goals.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to be great-grandparent one day.
Yeah.
But this is not my goal right now.
Yeah, you're not going to start now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is, or a great parent, I don't know, in 1 month.
Well, you started with that. You're already expecting a kid, so congratulations on that. But that means one more challenge for you. Yes. Yeah.
It's true. But this is, like, you have to know what's your main goal. And everything else needs to be behind that.
Okay, so do you write that down? So you put like you get a sheet of paper, you write down Ironman, and then you go bullet point to bullet point what you actually have to do for that, or do you do it differently?
No, not really. I have to say, because I'm a beginner. This was my first Ironman challenge, so I didn't know what to expect of it.
Yes.
In this case, it was not like that, but I knew I wanted to be below 6 hours. That's quite easy. I just wanted to have fun and enjoy it and know the experience.
Yeah.
But what I was doing, I was planning from the event backwards.
Okay.
So I knew, like, it was 10 days ago was the event. It was, I think, on the 5th of September or something like that.
Yeah.
And I knew, okay, in August I'm gonna do more high intensity interval training, less base training and stuff like this.
Yes.
And I knew that the winter time for all endurance athletes, and especially the triathletes, this is the time when you do base.
Yeah.
So I had Swift and I had a training plan, and this was the thing I was starting with.
Yeah.
And all the other stuff, I knew I had a plan, like January and February, and then for March and April and stuff like this.
Okay.
This is how it went on.
So you went backwards from the event, and you had
exactly.
like for every month or 2 months you had a specific thing that you were going to work on. Okay, so what would you say is the base? What do you think, like if I want to prepare for an Ironman and I'm a total beginner, what would you say is the most important thing that I have to work on?
The most important thing is you really have to want it.
Okay, yeah.
That sounds like, okay, of course you have to want it. But if you don't enjoy endurance training and you do it 5-10 hours a week, your life's gonna suck.
Yeah.
So you need to enjoy it at least a little bit.
So your first tip is pick a challenge that you actually enjoy.
Of course.
All right.
Like if you see people talking about how, for me, basketball background, Kobe Bryant is the perfect example. That's the guy, work ethic.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant is completely linked with work ethic, and he's saying, okay, he knows sometimes you have to get up, you grind, shit. But if this feels like every day feels like shit, then pick a different goal.
Yeah, okay.
Pick a different goal.
Yeah.
Because you're never gonna succeed. You're never gonna go there. You're never gonna climb the mountain, you know?
Yeah.
If you don't want to climb the mountain actually, and you're just doing it because of, I don't know what, it's not gonna be a great achievement that you're gonna do.
True, but that's a good point. So how do you find out for yourself what the actual goal is that you want? I know we're talking about like sports and Ironman now, but I think this translates into the rest of your life too. So how did you come about knowing, okay, I've been doing like basketball and like powerlifting and all this stuff. How did you get to Ironman?
I think you have to try it. You have to try it. See if it's something for you, and like when I was talking about the things that I did, I enjoyed it for some time. Yeah. I enjoyed it for a year, and I enjoyed being athletic, and I don't stop being athletic. Yeah. But I'm changing my goals all the time. Yeah. So I think endurance sports has some kind of addiction, and I thought I will do this Ironman 70.3 and then move on to the next challenge. Yeah. But right now, 10 days after the event, it doesn't really feel like it. Yeah. I think it's not gonna be over.
Well, it's all the endorphins and the runner's high, and you feel awesome after.
It feels like I have to do it again. Yeah. And now that what we were talking before, I have now those 5 hours and 29 minutes or something. I don't know exactly what the time was, but I want to be now at the 5 hours, like I was doing with the snatch and the clean and jerk. Yeah. With the snatch, the clean and jerk, also with deadlift and bench press. You have this event. Yeah. You have it in every training session, or at least you can do it once a week. You try your best. You go all out, because if you want to improve your strength, you're gonna work hard. Yeah. So with this goal, I never did an Ironman in this whole year. Yeah. Because if I do an Ironman and I swim for 2 kilometers, I ride the bike 90 kilometers, and I do a half marathon, I'm gonna be fucked. Yeah. So this is not productive if you want to train for an Ironman, to do an Ironman. Yeah. So the test is just once a year, and it feels like more like, I don't know, training for Olympia. I don't want to compare it too much to that because it's something a lot smaller, of course.
Yeah.
But you have an event once a year.
Yeah.
And you have 1 year to improve for it.
Would you compare it to studying for a test? Because you're going through the chapters, like you're going through each workout plan, and you have a specific date where you have to know everything or work on it. Is that the same?
Ooh, doesn't feel like it, but maybe.
Like mentally, would you say it's close, or is it something totally different?
Hard to say. When I did the entrance test for medicine,
yeah,
that felt for me like training.
Yeah.
But I can't really say, because there you have to work on cognitive skills and stuff like this.
Yes.
So you have to know how to remember things and stuff like that, and you're doing long term.
Yeah.
If you study for a test, it's most times pretty specific, and you tend to not have those skills for a really long time.
Yeah.
You try to understand certain concepts and stuff like this. But I wouldn't compare it to that. I don't know. It feels different when I'm saying it now. I couldn't really tell you which parts exactly. Mentally, it feels different because also endurance sports was for me it was something I could do after studying.
Yeah.
For example, because you were asking before, the goals that I pick. Highest goal is becoming a great doctor right now.
Yeah.
IronMan is going with it.
Yeah.
But they have to come together.
Yeah.
So this is for me, I enjoyed studying and I enjoyed doing a run after the studying.
But you're not going to sacrifice one thing to do the other. Yeah.
Yes. Well, maybe a little bit I would sacrifice.
Well, you'll compromise, but you probably won't sacrifice.
I would compromise.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, that's true.
Okay. Awesome. So let's go through your workout plans. How did you structure them? You said you had like a specific month where you did specific things. How did you structure the workouts in those months? Let's start with, you started in January to train for it?
Yeah, actually it was in November, beginning of November.
Okay,
think, yeah.
So in beginning of November you started training?
It was not specific for the Ironman, but I was doing more
cardio specific?
Yes.
Okay, so let's say November. How did you train? How many days? How many hours? How did you structure it?
In November, it was the first time I did a training plan on Swift.
Yeah.
So Swift, like I've been saying, you have this, you have the avatar driving through Innsbruck or whatever. You can go through Batopia is the place, the fictional place.
Oh, by the way, we're not sponsored by Swift. Just so you know, we're not affiliated with them in any kind of way. Okay, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
Me neither.
Yeah.
But I have to say this is a big boost for your compliance.
Yeah.
Because you see improvements in your FTP, and you see all, like I've been saying, if you quantify, if you have
what does
your
FTP
data,
stand for?
Functional threshold power.
Okay.
So if, I don't know, let's say mine was at 300,
yeah,
and I was trying to improve it up to 320.
Yeah.
Watts per kilogram.
Yeah.
How much power can I generate per kilogram of my body?
Okay.
So it's pretty number specific,
yeah,
I would say. And I did that training plan. It was 5 times a week.
Okay.
Just bike.
Just bike.
Just bike.
And how long, like distance-wise?
Between 30 minutes and 120 minutes.
Okay, but you've been doing cycling before that.
Yes.
How much compared to that?
Without numbers, let's say like that.
Okay, but how much would you say compared to that was the difference between, like, let's say October before you started and November where you did 5 times a week cycling?
Before that, I was going mountain biking with my dad.
Okay. So it was
once
recreational.
Every 2 weeks, I'd say like that. Yes, I was just going there, and I'm going from one place to the other.
Yeah,
I was driving to work and I was driving home and stuff like this.
Yeah,
but to have it, I think there's the difference. It was movement. It was more movement than it was sports and training.
Yeah,
because with training there comes the goal, and you have a goal with every workout, and they are telling you which goal it is. So it's a lot easier if you know, if you have a training plan. I don't know.
Yes.
You've worked with and without training plan, you know how the compliance changes.
Yeah.
I feel like training, okay, I'm gonna do it. I don't feel like training, okay, I'm not gonna do it. If you have a plan, fuck, I need to do it.
Yeah.
There is no other chance. Yeah, you need to do it.
Okay, so that's one of your like main things that you would want to say is get a fucking plan and know what the fuck you're gonna be doing, because if you're not, then you're just gonna be like going around doing some things here, some things there, but you're never gonna be organized.
Well, worked for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you how to train for an Ironman because I'm not Jan Frodeno, the best Ironman.
But it translates because you know how to train for stuff in general, and that's not gonna change if it's an Ironman or if you want to be an astronaut.
If your main goal is to improve in a certain kind of sport or movement and stuff like this, get a plan.
Get a plan.
Get a plan.
Okay.
For me, it's working. If you're a different kind of guy and you're saying, okay, I don't get along with plans, don't do it your way. I think everybody has to find his or her way to work and to improve.
Yeah.
If you want to improve, some people may even say sport you don't need improvement.
Yeah.
I think fun and improvement correlate for me.
Yes.
So if I don't see any outcome from my training, I think like, okay, I mean, still enjoying it, still having fun with it, but
all right.
But have a goal.
Okay, so have a goal, have a plan, and you've been working out 5 times a week. For November, just cycling 30 to 40 kilometers, and
no, it's 30 to 120 minutes just.
Oh, 30 to 120 minutes.
The kilometers, I don't know.
Probably more.
Depends on if you're going altitude or not.
Yeah.
So if you're going up, it's less.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd say, I mean, we could check now on Strava or on Garmin or whatever.
Yeah.
All those apps that I've been quantifying with. How much it exactly was, but it wouldn't make any sense, I think.
Yeah, that's.
But this really drove me into, like, I've been going home. And my girlfriend was like, hey, you're home. And I was like, okay, sorry.
I'm not home yet. I still have to go. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's also, I have to say, a problem. To train at home, that's pretty tough because you're there and you're not there.
Yeah.
So for me, when it was getting warm outside, I was driving a lot of outside.
Yeah.
And even put your phone on airplane mode because you just can concentrate on what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think that's a big game changer mentally wise.
Yeah, of course. Well, you associate your home with sitting on the couch and being like comfortable, and then okay. Well, that's also why people have problems doing home office because you're combining your home with work, and it's just mentally very taxing.
Yes.
So, all right, you did your cycling for the first month, and then you noticed improvements, of course. Mm-hmm. And then when did you know that it was time to move on to the next thing or the next kind of training?
The next, well, first and foremost, the training plan ended. It was a 12-week plan, or I think it was I think it was 12 weeks. Yeah. So it ended.
So classic 3-month training plan. Yeah.
Just the normal training plan, and I finished that one and it was over, and I was like, okay. And then in January, well, late December, I decided, okay, I'm gonna do that Ironman thing. Yeah. Because I was into endurance training, and you see your Strava also not associated with Strava if there is any questions.
We're not associated with anyone.
So you see your fitness level, even though this fitness score is not really anything, I don't know, scientifically or something like that. You become more fit if you do more.
Of course, yeah.
With this score.
Yeah.
That's not something I would agree with completely because you don't see regeneration and stuff like this. Yeah. But you see it's improved. Yeah. Improved with the plan immensely. I was jumping up. Then I had pharmacology seminars with the university.
When I went down,
I was like, okay, I want to have that score up there somewhere. Yeah. That's one of a lot of things why I did it.
So a classic progressive overload. You can notice, okay, you're doing more, you're getting better, you stop, you're getting okay.
Exactly. So, but there is nothing of super compensation. You don't see really if you do less. Of course, you become stronger while not doing anything. Yeah. I become weaker in training. That's of course the thing, especially with endurance. Yes. Yeah. I mean, if you do activation jumps and stuff like this for plyometrics, maybe you could become stronger. But with endurance, you become weaker with every step you take or with every stride you hit on the pedal. Yeah. There's one more thing I wanted to add to training at home. It's a lot of triathletes they have a pain cave. Yeah. So just build one tiny room where you go in and you suffer in there. Yeah. And to have something like this, to have your surroundings, to know where you suffer, to have a place where you suffer and a place where you eat and where you enjoy and where you relax, I think it's really important to separate those two places. Yeah. Also with work, like you've been saying, I think I completely agree with that. With the problem with the home office. Yeah. I wouldn't get along with that.
Me neither. So I really don't like working from home at all. Yeah. All right. So you moved on to December. That's when you knew, okay, I want to do an Ironman. And then what had to change in your training method? Because now you had a specific goal. You knew exactly how long you wanted to have for swimming, for cycling, for running, etc. Yeah. How exactly did the way you train change, or did it change at all?
Yes. I've been watching on YouTube. I wanted to do it, and I've been doing my research. You read a lot of things. You find and it really hits you. Like if you read the training plan of those top triathletes, they get up, they do the run, and they have breakfast, and they do the swim, then they have lunch, then they do the ride, and they have another run. So it's a 24/7 thing, and they train like 40 hours a week.
Yeah, crazy
amounts of hours. Maybe not. Maybe it's 20, but with all the physiotherapy, with all the recovery stuff,
all the theoretical stuff and everything. Yeah.
It's not possible for me.
Yeah.
When I'm working and I'm studying and I'm doing my work, I have a girlfriend, all those things.
Yeah.
It's not possible for me. So what I've been doing, I've been going to YouTube. There's the channel called GTN Network.
All right.
Global Triathlon Network.
Yeah.
And they are trying to, I think it's 3 former professional triathletes.
Okay.
That went into YouTubing.
Yeah.
And they are explaining and trying to bring triathlon to the normal
the general public. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I've been watching that, and specifically one video where they're saying the 10-hour Ironman.
Yeah.
And they're saying you do like most important things. You do the bike.
Okay.
Because if you go to the triathlon, the longest thing is always the bike. Second longest is the run.
Yeah.
Third is the swim.
Yeah.
The least time you spend in the water.
Yeah.
And some people even say you swim to the start of the triathlon.
Yeah.
So the swim is just, it's not really the big thing.
Yeah.
If you really struggle with your technique, that's a problem. Of course, you need to be able to do the crawl, but because everything else just takes too much energy. And if you really want to do a complete Ironman for 4 kilometers, that's something you need to work on your swim.
Yeah.
But swimming is perfect if you do it for recovery, because your joints and everything are gonna be sore and fucked up anyways. If you go for runs, if you go for harder runs, long runs, and the bike as well.
Yeah.
Also your position, this is how you run.
Yeah, you're really cramped up.
Exactly.
Yeah, all the time.
So the swim is really, I try to put the swim into my recovery.
Yeah.
Because you can do it without, how do you say, nüchtern? I don't know.
Sober.
You can do it
You mean
sober?
sober? No, you mean like before you have breakfast or anything?
Yeah.
Okay, so on an empty stomach, basically.
On an empty stomach, exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's a 40, 50, 60 minute thing, especially if you go the half distance for the triathlon, because you don't need it any longer.
Yeah.
And recovery.
Yes.
2 hours a week, easy.
Yeah.
You should do 5 hours of bike.
Okay.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this.
Yes.
You should do like 3 to 5 hours of bike. And then
we're talking about weekly right now,
weekly,
5 hours?
Okay. Exactly.
Okay.
You have the week pensum that you want to do.
Yes.
Maximum 1 to 2 hours of swimming, 3 to 5 hours of bike, and you have 3 to 5 hours of running.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less.
Yeah.
2 to 4, let's say. Yeah. And then you do like 3 weeks. First week, 80%, 90%, 100%.
Yes.
And then you go down 80%. And,
okay.
And the next 80%.
So you have like a deload week.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So you have 3 weeks going up, and then 1 week deloading, and then again 3 weeks.
That's not really a deload week, but it's you start the 80% of the next should be a little bit higher.
Okay.
So let's say I'm doing, I don't know. Let's compare it with push-ups because it's easier in this case. First, I'm doing 80 push-ups, 90 push-ups, 100 push-ups.
Yeah.
I'm doing 85 push-ups, 95 push-ups, 105 push-ups.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So just with the percentages.
Yes.
Right? So this is how I'm trying to find my linear improvement. It's not going to work like that, of course.
Yeah.
The better you become, the tougher it becomes to get a linear improvement.
Of course.
But this is what I did. Base, like I've been saying, January, February, more base, more indoor trainings, more just watching TV and doing the Swift.
Yeah.
And the more it started, then Corona came, and I've been starting to do a lot of running.
Yes.
So I've been just running outside and just trying to integrate the running into the training.
Yeah, well, that leads us perfectly into the next question, because how did the lockdown affect your training? Because you have a challenge and you have like a deadline, and now all the gyms are closed.
Yeah.
How did that change?
The gyms were no problem actually, and you saw, I think, a lot of people picked up running and endurance sport while Corona.
Yes, that's true.
Like some people didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But you've been saying you just did.
I went to full on cardio and I stopped training like anything that had to do with weights, which is unusual.
Yes.
Yeah.
So even you who's doing it quite often, the weight training.
Yeah.
Just went out for cardio training.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people did that.
Yes.
So running and bike, no problem.
So that was actually better for you that the gyms were closed, because you.
I couldn't work. Yes, was
not
exactly. Financially wise, but
yeah.
But in otherwise, yes. The only problem was swimming.
Yeah.
I couldn't do swims. But so I didn't swim for Corona.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Like I've been saying, swimming is not the biggest part.
Yeah.
I should do more recovery stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't do that.
Yes. Okay.
So recovery, big thing.
Yeah.
And you recognize it when you do endurance sport and you do the harder intervals and stuff like this.
Yeah.
You need to do your recovery, and I think it's one thing to do it with the watch who's telling you, I don't know, right now.
Sit down for 5 minutes and then repeat.
The watch is telling me right now, like for this 0 hours, Erholungsratgeber is it saying, so recovery timer, and I can do a workout right now.
Yeah, okay.
So this is what they're telling me.
Yeah? Alright, so you work out, and then after workout it calculates how much time you would need. Okay.
Depends on how fast you run, how your heart rate is, and how long you do.
Okay, so for people who don't have all those programs and watches and stuff like that, how would you tell them to, when do you take your recovery time? How to know that you need to recover instead of training more? How do you find that out?
What I would do is, of course, listen to your body, but this is something.
It's very arbitrary. So how? Yeah.
What I would do, and what a lot of, if you try to integrate the triathlon into your daily life and try to integrate it into your, also if you're working, I do it like that. Saturday, Sunday, big run, big bike.
Okay.
The big bike is something that takes the longest, it's the longest training session of the week.
Yes.
3 hours, because we need to go 90 kilometers or more to be prepared for an Ironman.
Yes.
Right, so we need to have 3 to 4 hours.
Yes.
During the work week, it's quite challenging to fit that in your day.
True, yeah.
So you do your long ride and your long run during the weekends.
Yes.
What's important with the Ironman is you need to connect run and bike.
Yeah.
So you bike for 3 hours and then you
then after you run.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do your brick run.
Yeah.
So brick. So you go off the bike and you immediately jump into running.
Yes.
And then the day after you could do a long run.
Yeah.
Not fully recovered, of course, but you still could do your long run. Monday is your recovery day.
Yeah. Okay.
After that recovery day, you can. Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
after that recovery day, you can do your fast session.
Okay.
Depends on if you like to concentrate more on the bike. If
your fast session means high intensity.
High intensity, exactly. You want to be all out. You want to be recovered.
Yes.
24 hours at least, if not 48 hours between. The fast session, you're gonna start it after your recovery day.
Yes.
So I try to have a recovery day on Monday.
Yeah.
Because week starts and I want to be fully prepared for my studies and for the job and everything.
Yeah.
And Tuesday I start into the work week. Actually.
Yes. So after, so now we have the running day, the cycling day, the recovery day, and then you have the high intensity day.
Yes.
After the high intensity day, is there another recovery day, or do you start over again with running, cycling, and then?
The swimming you can do in, like I've been saying, you just put it in where it fits for you.
Wherever you feel. Okay.
Yeah, because the swimming bath doesn't open before 9.
Yeah.
On some days you have to do it on Tuesday and Thursday maybe. I did it a lot of times on Saturdays because I have my Uzi course there.
Yeah.
So it was easy, but you have to fit it in where it fits, yes. And you just throw it in.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do it before your fast session, of course, because if you're tired from the swim,
true.
That's not perfectly.
Yeah.
I would have mix it up.
Yes.
Tuesday is my fast session. If it doesn't fit in and I can only do a swim because of whatever reason, you need to be a little bit flexible because, like I've been saying, your training has to go along with your daily schedule.
Of course, yeah. But so would you say minimum 2 recovery days per week?
You can do some stretching, you can do some swimming, you can do some stuff like this.
Yeah.
But they have to be easy days.
Okay. So, but 2 would be minimum. So 2 recovery days. You can actually stretch in those recovery days. You can do some foam rolling. You can go get a massage, whatever the fuck.
You can even do a run, but do it
like a light jog.
The intense stuff. Yes. You can do a 30-minute run with 60%, 70%, just to get out the lactate.
Yes.
Stuff like this. But don't go all out, because your next training will suffer from it. Right?
Yeah. Okay. So we basically know right now you have a specific training plan for a specific time, and then after that you change up the training plan so you don't plateau at some point, or you still keep on a progressive overload. Then we already know 2 recovery days and how to structure your training routine. Let's get into something a little bit more difficult for most people. What about nutrition? Did you have to change anything about that, or did you just stay the same? Because you eat pretty healthy and you're already a pretty healthy person. But for like a layman or someone who's just starting out and has this like huge goal of competing in an Ironman or something, what would you change in your nutrition?
Depends on how your nutrition was before, of course.
Yeah.
And I think nutrition is a pretty hot topic, because everybody's biome is different.
That's what most of the people struggle with, is nutrition usually.
Yes. Can be a big problem, and you need to be aware that it's a social thing as well.
Yeah.
You eat with your family, you eat with your friends, stuff like this. So you have to be able to still do it.
Yes.
Because if everything else suffers, you will not stick with the training.
Yeah.
If everything sucks, like I've been saying before, you're probably not going to stay with it, right?
Yeah.
So what I did, I was trying to find out how much carbs. Carbs is really the biggest thing, I have to say.
Why is that?
Why? Because if you train for longer than 30 to 60 minutes,
yes,
your training is going to be less productive. Your workout is going to be less productive if you don't have carbs.
Okay. So basically, because it's a main energy source in the beginning for your training, you need to have some carbs.
Of course, it depends on how hard your session is and how long your session is. And you can have a great endurance workout on an empty stomach.
Yes.
But then you're working more on your fat metabolisms.
Yes.
And you cannot do those high intensity intervals. You will not do your FTP.
Yes.
You will not improve in those areas.
So you would say carb, or like loading up on carbs, would be important for people who do long endurance, who don't do long endurance but do high intensity interval, and for people who do long endurance, it's okay to go on an empty stomach.
Yes, because then if you go long endurance, your intensity is going to be around 50-60%, let's say, like that.
Yes.
And if you do it for really long, of course, beta oxidation jumps in, and you need to burn fats.
Yeah.
You cannot rely only on your carbs. Yeah,
so for the people who don't know, you have as a main energy source, you have carbs, and after a specific time of running, for instance, your body switches from carbs to another energy source, which it gets from the fat. So you can go for longer periods, because carbs can sustain you for short amounts of energy bursts, but they can't sustain your body for going on a run for like 7 hours. Is that correct?
I think there is a lot of things you can throw in there.
The most basic.
But the most basic, yes.
Yeah. I don't think
I think, well, what you do with the Ironman, you have a lot of nutrition while you run as well.
Yes.
You have the gels, and you have the electrolyte drinks, and you have the muesli bars and stuff.
So you're always fueling up in between.
Exactly, but you're trying to go on carbs.
Yeah.
Because carbs, they come quicker. It's a quicker energy source, and I think this is important to understand. That if you run on fat, it's completely cool, and if you have, there are some ultra endurance runners. I think it's on
like ultra marathons, like 100 miles and stuff like that, 24 hours.
More, yes.
Yeah.
There are people who do a ketogenic diet.
Yeah.
I think there is a clip on Manjis or something. There's a YouTube clip as well.
Yeah.
And I've been watching this one, and I think, okay, I thought it's cool if you can go ketogenic on endurance. That's a great thing.
Yes.
But your workouts are gonna be less intense.
Yeah.
If you try to improve your speed, don't do ketogenic, because your workouts are gonna be 80%.
Yes.
And if you really want to improve your speed, and the fast sessions are gonna suffer.
Yeah.
I've been doing some sessions with on an empty stomach, like I've been saying, to try to train my fat metabolism, but you have to do it differently depending on the goal you have with each and every session.
Yes. Okay. So we know now carbs very important. What kind of carbs should people take in? Because there is different kinds of carbs. You have like simple sugars. You have like more complex carbs. How, from where do you get those?
I think it's important. Carbs are really important before training. You should have the carbs around that workout, I think.
Yes, so like between an hour and half an hour before the training.
Depends on how fast
metabolism is.
Yeah. Metabolism is how fast you can work them.
Yes.
It also depends which carbs you take in. So I wouldn't have a meat and stuff like a lot of fat and stuff like this. I try to have 3 hours before.
Yeah.
My runs really, I try to have an empty stomach.
Yeah.
So I really try to have 3 hours before a run. I didn't have any food.
Okay.
You can have like a peanut butter jelly sandwich or stuff like this.
Yeah.
This is like the go-to meal that you have before a
like
longer
instant
run.
carb energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can have the quicker ones, like 30 to 60 minutes before the run. But for me personally, but all those athletes, they do it differently. For me personally, 30 to 60 minutes before I didn't eat anything.
Yeah.
So I tried actually to be on an empty stomach, and if then I did an electrolyte drink or something like this.
Okay. Okay. So carbs are very important. What is the next thing? Because we still have, like, from the macros, we have proteins and we have fats. How would you structure those, or is that not really important?
Well, I try to get in enough my essential fats, my essential amino acids.
Yes.
But I eat fish 2 times a week, stuff like this. So I didn't really care about that too much.
Okay.
And also the things you read about, what pro triathletes eat.
Yes.
I don't know, the best triathlete right now who won the last Ironman in Kona in Hawaii.
Yeah.
He's Jan Frodeno. He's on a pescatarian diet.
Yes. Okay.
You can work with that.
Yeah.
The next one he's on the vegetarian. The next one is on stuff like this.
Yeah.
So all of them, they have their carbs, and all of them they have the proteins. They have the protein shake, stuff like this. I would take protein shake every day actually.
Yeah.
But because I just like it with that's my post workout was a protein shake, but with a banana.
Yeah.
And with some carbs. To fill up my glycogen saves.
All right.
And make sure recovery is gonna go correctly.
Okay. The second biggest part when it comes to nutrition is calories. So calorie surplus, calorie deficit. How do you know how many calories you actually need? I know you're using gadgets and stuff like that to like find that out, but like for someone who is in moderately good shape and they want to run an Ironman in, let's say, half a year, should they stay in a surplus? Should they stay in a deficit? Should they just get in enough maintenance calories to never change in weight? Or how would you?
Well, first of all, if you're lighter, you run faster.
True.
So if you just want to do an Ironman, probably
lose some weight.
To lose some weight, it's probably beneficial.
Yeah.
How to create that?
Calorie deficit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would not overdo eating.
Yes.
I think that's a big thing because people think, okay, I've been doing an endurance session for 2 hours. Wow, I burned 1,000 calories.
Yeah.
And they start filling up the pasta party, and then right after it, they fill up their the glycogen savers and fast carbs. Single monosaccharides and stuff like this.
Yeah.
And then an hour later, again the next food and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Don't overdo it.
Yeah. And then they get fat.
And
after 6 months,
they're like, okay, I've
like
been doing fucking Ironman training and I'm still gaining weight. What's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah, yeah.
But don't overeat.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. And I've been trying to lose some weight and I lost like I think 6 kilos.
Yes.
But not as much as would probably be perfect for the Ironman because I've been not taking care of my calorie intake. And if I would, well, what I learned for that, next year I want to do it again, I want to go below 5 hours.
Yes.
I'm going to try to lose another 7 kilos and I need to have a calorie deficit.
Okay. But that's easier said than done because like most people don't know how many calories exactly they need to put in, and they don't know how to overcome the feeling of I'm hungry right now. I've been training for 2 hours. I'm really exhausted. I want to have some food. You're hungry all day long. What are some tips to circumvent this?
I think one thing is, I mean, again, I like to work with gadgets and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Do my fitness pal, do track your calorie intake and outcome. I don't know how much you need and how much you take in.
Yes.
So do that for 1 or 2 weeks and get a feeling for it.
Okay.
Part 1. Part 2 is center your food and the biggest foods, the biggest meals around your workouts.
Okay. So before and after.
Exactly. Have a small meal before, like I'm saying 3 hours before.
Yes.
Not too big because a big meal actually takes longer than 3 hours even.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would have a good meal 3 hours before.
Yes.
Not too big, not too many, not too much fiber and stuff like this. I don't want to shit my pants while I'm running.
Yeah, I hope so.
Of course.
Yeah.
And after the workout, you can have your good meal, and then you brush your teeth and you're finished for the day.
Okay. And now I brushed my teeth, and an hour later I'm hungry. What do I do?
You go to sleep and.
Okay, so you just power through it, and then, well.
Well, at some point, of course, if you get hungry, the healthy snacks you can go for that. Especially if you do, like we've been talking. You have your workout in the morning,
yes,
and you have that big meal at 11 in the morning.
Yeah,
that's gonna be fucked up if you you brush your teeth at 11
then you
in the
go
morning.
To sleep. Yeah,
that's fucked up. Okay, I understand that. Then of course try to go with. I would go for slow carb.
Yes.
Slow carb diet. So
for instance,
lentils, rice, stuff like this. I wouldn't go for sweets, no sugar, no stuff like this.
Yes.
Because this stuff doesn't really help you with your hunger.
Yes.
Because it will spike up blood sugar and stuff like
that. Okay, so you basically, that's one of the most important tips, I think. Sugars will spike your insulin. Your insulin will go down, making you more hungry, needing more sugars, and that's just like a cycle. So if I cut out simple sugars as much as possible, I shouldn't be hungry in the evening, or I shouldn't be hungry in the morning after waking up. Yeah. Right? Okay.
But if you, with those hard workouts, you really empty your
glycogen,
yes. So post-workout, you can go for fast sugars.
Yes.
But that's it. Yeah. Post-workout, and don't go for the chocolate bar at 9 in the evening if your workout was in the morning.
Yeah. All right.
So try to have your fast and your let's say faster sugar around that workout.
Okay.
Pre, during, and after workout.
All right. Another thing is that, and most people don't really know that if you eat directly before going to sleep, you're gonna be hungry in the morning. But if you don't eat before you go to sleep and you go a longer period without food, you're not gonna be hungry in the morning. Yes. So can you explain to us why it is that way?
I think it also is the insulin
insulin spikes and the ghrelin and the leptin.
Exactly,
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
As far as I know, but I'm not an expert in this.
Well, not yet.
No.
Not
yet.
Okay. Good. What would you say, like, we can move on from nutrition, what would you say was the most challenging thing for you when it came to the Ironman?
I think it's perfect to say it was in January. You really, like I've been saying, you see it on Strava, you see like, okay, they're climbing up, October, November, it's good. Farmer seminars, big test.
Yes.
This was the biggest challenge, to overcome that and go at training while still having to study for your medicine and while having a lot of other things that are going on, and then still do that. And your girlfriend, you come home at 7 in the evening and she's like, oh, you're at home, and you want to go there and cuddle and have your dinner and stuff like this, and you're like, oh, no,
I still need to work out. I still need to
learn. I need to work out. And she's like, okay, fuck that.
Yeah,
fuck you actually.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a big thing. I'd say. Yeah, to fit it in if you have a busy schedule.
Well, then how did you motivate yourself to still do this, because you have so much on your plate, and most people have a lot on their plate and they don't know, like, the motivation is there for like a month or for like 2 months, but after that people don't actually know how do I go on from that.
Yes, I think it's a big thing if you just use your calendar and you put it in. Okay,
so you just put in the dates and you put in exactly what you have to do in writing.
I did that weekly.
Yes.
Didn't do it. I didn't know in January was what I was gonna do in July.
Yeah.
Of course, because I didn't know how my fitness will evolve.
Yeah.
But I tried to be on Sunday. I put in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I did that.
Yes.
And what helps as well is if you have support. And my girlfriend really supported me, I have to say.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning it was sometimes an argument about you still need to do it, but she knew if I could do my thing and if I can progress and if I can improve in certain areas, that makes me a happy person.
Yes.
And this will eventually improve our relationship as well.
That's true. Okay, so motivation-wise, you would say write stuff down, and we've been talking about this a lot, and it comes up in a lot of things when it comes to training or even any kinds of goal. Write stuff down so you actually have it on paper, so you're gonna really feel bad if you don't do it, and it's gonna motivate you to actually, okay, I've written it down, I can't just not do it. This is gonna make it easier. And look for support if you don't have any friends, if you don't have family, or you don't have like a relationship or anything. You're basically fucked. Just don't do the Ironman. But other than that, just get yourself some friends.
It's even easier.
Or maybe it's easier because you don't have anyone who needs your time. Okay,
exactly.
So that's like a positive and a negative.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think a big thing is also if you have colleagues and friends who are as well doing endurance training.
Yes.
So since summer we're there with Corona and stuff.
Yes.
With 1 meter distance, of course.
Yeah.
But I've been doing workouts with friends.
Okay, but like that's what I feel. It's a pretty tight rope to walk on because either your friends are as motivated as you and you go like every time together and you motivate each other, or your friend just after a month or two is like, I don't feel like it today and stuff like that in the end, and then you're gonna have to cut them out anyway. So
yeah, but then it is like it is. I have to say.
Yeah.
You will not stop training just because your friend doesn't do it with you.
Yes.
And if you can do it together, that's great.
Yeah.
Also, if you're on if you go running, for example, together, it's quite challenging because you have to have the same speed if you want the same goal out of it.
Yes.
But if you go for a track and field area and stuff like this, you can like do intervals that you perfectly together.
Yeah.
Also long rides. The 3-hour rides, those are the most challenging for the motivation.
Yeah.
If you do them on the smart training and stuff like this, but if you go outside and you do 3, 4, 5 hour rides, that's no problem with friends.
Yes.
It's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I want to check here. Challenge. Okay, I think we went through. Okay, so we've done all the preliminary work. Now you're standing in front of the Ironman itself, and it's starting out. How did it actually go for you?
Swimming went really good.
Okay.
I think swimming was great. I was like hundreds.
So swimming is the first challenge.
Yes.
Yes.
But it was like I've been saying, you swim to the start.
Yes.
So swimming was pretty cool. I enjoyed it, and that was fast.
Yeah.
Then the transition to the bike, I don't know, it took me 2 minutes.
Yes.
I don't know if this is a good or a bad time. I don't really looked at the other times. It took me as much as it took me. Like I said, it's my first Ironman.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna look at that stuff.
Yeah.
So I put on my socks and stuff like this and and went on to the bike.
Yeah.
And the bike was fucked up. My bike was like the worst bike on all the other bikes. They all have those 10,000 euro super speed machines.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, my bike is not really bad.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it cost like 1,500. It's a race bike.
Yeah.
But it's not a triathlon machine.
Yeah.
And so my speed was in one direction I was going for 42, 45 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
And the other way there was wind.
Yeah.
And it was like 22 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
So it was really fucked up.
Yes.
And it took me 3 hours to complete the cycle.
Uh-huh.
The good thing about it was I was really fresh when I went for the half marathon.
Yeah. So you were still feeling pretty good.
I was feeling great.
Yeah.
Didn't want to go all out there. Actually, that was also my plan for the Ironman. I wanted to run to the goal.
You wanted to finish it. You didn't want to have like
walk and stuff, like have a breakdown or anything.
Yeah.
I didn't want to cramp and all those stuff. So I made sure to have enough liquids, to have enough gels, to have enough carbs and fast sugar and stuff like this.
Yeah.
During the race, the planning was perfectly. I knew exactly when I took in my muesli bars. I knew when I put in my gels, how much and stuff like this. This is pretty exactly how I did it. And then to the run, and that was pretty good. I was doing the half marathon 140, what's like one of my best half marathons.
140 is pretty good. That's like almost like 8 minutes per kilometer.
No,
I mean 4 minutes per kilometer.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 22 kilometers, I think, or 21.
21.
20.
I think 21.2 maybe, or I think maybe 21. I don't know.
So that's still really good numbers. And before that, you had the cycling and you had the swimming. So
the run went actually pretty well.
Yeah.
And I've been running with the winner of the women's full distance.
Yeah.
Verena Walter, I think was her name.
Yes.
She won the Ironman competition.
Yeah.
And I've been running with her for like the 15 minutes.
Yes.
And always there was a motorcycle going with us with the cameraman.
Yeah.
That was quite motivating as well.
I believe you. Yeah.
And it was feeling great. I was just eating people up.
Yeah.
Well, running across. And they were like killed.
Yeah.
And I still had energy for ways.
Did it go better than you expected it to go?
The run.
Yeah.
The rest, I wanted to go below 6.
Yeah.
Perfect would be 5:30. I did 5:29 and I was really pissed afterwards.
So 5 hours, 29 minutes.
Yeah. But I was really pissed, like I said. I was not happy with the result, actually.
Yeah.
Because it felt for me that the bike, I saw the results, and for me to run and swim that fast and be that bad on the bike, that killed me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I need to do it again next year and go below 5 hours. I need to do that.
So you're gonna do it next year again, and are you gonna get a new bike, or fuck that?
We'll see.
Okay, because just stay like that, and then it's more challenging, and then we'll see. Maybe you can go.
True, more challenging, but I think it's quite how could I say it? I'm looking forward to have a great bike one day. Let's say like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna be next year. Probably I'm gonna stick with that distance, and I'm gonna stick with that bike for the next 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
But I really would like to do, also because I have 3 younger brothers and a younger sister.
Yeah.
And one of those younger brothers, he's always saying, "Hey, you're an Ironman.
Yeah.
You're just a half Ironman."
Yeah.
And it's for me like, yeah.
Okay, fuck you. I'm gonna do the Ironman later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I have to do it one day.
Yeah.
But that's important for me. I don't want to jump in and just do it.
Yeah.
I want to know what I'm doing and want to prepare again and do one thing and get better at it and have my results and have my numbers.
Yeah.
And see what I can do with them.
Yeah. So you came in within the first 100 people.
200
right?
people, no.
In the first 200
just with
people.
The swimming and just with the running.
Yes.
Within the 100.
Yeah.
But my bike was 300.
Okay, so all in all, like you were within the first 200 people for your first Ironman, and there were like more than 1,000 people actually taking part in this.
Yes. But I think some of them were doing the full distance, so I can't really say how much those and how much those.
Okay. So,
but I think it was like I was in the first quarter or first. Something.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
So that's pretty good for your first time.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. Do you feel like next year you're gonna change anything in your training? Like, have you had any mistakes? I would say now that you wanna like change for the next time.
Yes. There are some things. Take care of nutrition.
Yes.
A calorie deficit, like you've been saying.
Yeah.
I ate too much.
Yeah.
To make it easy.
Yeah.
I ate too much because I thought I can eat everything because I'm doing.
Because you're running all day.
Yes. Yeah. Because I'm running all day, and that's true. To some, I lost weight.
Yeah.
But to find the right balance between in and outtake, outcome and intake, output and input.
Yeah.
There you have to be. I need to be more aware of. I want to be. Right now I'm 87 kilos. I want to be 80 kilos for the next one.
Yeah.
And do maybe even more base training in the winter.
Yes.
Concentrate on base. I think it's really important because also when you do the other stuff of training, you see that it helps you.
Yeah.
With your recovery, with all that stuff.
Yes.
Also, if you have a lot of things to juggle around with. And
yeah.
But I have to say, I'm gonna be really careful how I approach all this.
Yes.
October, baby, sleep, stuff like this. You have to see what's gonna come.
Yeah. So you would say training wise everything went good and you can implement it pretty closely to what you did last year, but nutrition you would want to change a little bit.
Nutrition. With the training, I think it's important to not make too big changes because you don't see what's the difference.
Yeah.
So I would go the plan with base first and then start to become even more faster. I would stick with that, yes.
Yeah.
Right now, until I think October, November, I want to do experimenting and stuff like this. I will go for speed training, try to improve my strength again, go for some hypertrophy training, squats, deadlifts and stuff like this, mobility, just do around and enjoy whatever movement, not be too strict about my training routine.
Yeah.
I can pick that up later on.
All right. I have one more very important point, and that's how do you keep from being injured? Because that's a lot of sports. People sometimes overtrain. People are sometimes not concentrated. What are like main things you have to do so you don't get injured when you prepare for something like that?
Don't do too much extracurricular stuff.
Activity, yeah.
Don't go play basketball. Don't do football training, soccer. I don't know what stuff.
So
like this.
Don't add your Ironman training on everything else that you already have. Yeah.
So if you do stuff like this, their injury risk, of course, is high.
Yes.
You're already sore and you're already tired, and then some friends say, hey, let's go play a round of soccer.
Yeah.
If you do that and you're tired already, that's a big risk factor.
Yes.
Number two, I think mobility is really important.
Okay.
If you tight all the time and you will feel your calves are fucked up because you've been doing a lot of running, take a time off, do maybe 1 day more recovery, and even leave one training.
Okay.
Let it be.
Yeah.
Also, foam rolling, I have to say, is I think pretty good.
Yeah.
And for me as a personal trainer, I have the benefit. I've been doing all this mobility and the warm-up drills with my clients.
Yes.
So I think if you don't do it with your clients and as part of your job, like I've been doing it, integrate that. Do yoga, do mobility, do, I don't know, Pilates, stuff like this.
Yes.
Stuff where you're not going all out and you're still moving in the full range of motion.
Yeah.
I think if you don't, because that's a big thing, you nearly never move full range of motion if you run and if you bike.
Yes, of course, yeah.
So that can be a problem.
Yeah.
Tight hip flexors, tight quads, tight calves, stuff like this.
Yes.
All those areas are pretty fucked.
Yeah. So stretching, foam rolling, don't be scared to take another extra day from workout and just relax a little bit, and sleep for recovery, like
exactly.
Sleep quality.
Again, I've been tracking it.
Yeah.
Just automatically. I had my watch on while I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Of course, I would try to get at least 7 hours of sleep.
Yes. Okay. And
but also this is a thing that's really individually.
Yeah.
If you don't need a lot of sleep,
yes.
sleep less if you can. Sleep more if you need more.
Yeah.
And have maybe a nap or something like this.
Yes.
Perfectly for me, I would try to have a nap after my workout.
Yeah.
If I did a morning workout and an afternoon workout, if I did two, I did a nap. I did food, nap. So it was train, eat, sleep, repeat.
Yes.
And if possible, I did two times a day.
That sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's his one.
Yeah.
I stole that from him.
Yeah. Well.
But that's the bigger thing, of course, because you have also those melatonin. You have the growth hormone spikes you have when you sleep.
Yes.
So if you can sleep more, sleep is really important.
Yeah. Well, that's when recovery and muscle building actually happens.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you train hard, and then the better your recovery time, the better you're gonna actually build muscle and build endurance and stuff like that. How do you feel about like saunas and stuff like that to increase your cardiovascular strength?
I don't know about any literature. I don't know about any studies what they recommend.
Yes.
For me, I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's too hot.
You're not okay. You're not a fan of it. I've read some studies. I think Dr. Rhonda Patrick did a couple of studies on how sauna increases your cardiovascular strength and how it helps you with endurance sport and stuff like that. So I think you can incorporate it, but for people who don't really have access to this, I don't feel it's that important. But do you think like any kind of supplementation is important? And if so, what kind of supplements do you have to take care of?
Maybe. I didn't really do that much of supplements.
So you didn't take any kind of supplements?
Well, the protein, whey protein, I did because I didn't eat a lot of meat during that time. So I've been doing a lot of fish, but not a lot of meat, and tried to have my protein, enough protein, 1.5 grams per kilogram.
Yeah.
Tried to have that with the protein shake. Fish oil I took, but fish oil and zinc.
Yeah.
Those are two supplements that I regularly take.
Okay.
But I didn't put too much research into supplementation.
Yes.
I have to confess. One more thing I did, because you were talking about the recovery, I was doing Wim Hof method.
Okay, breathing exercises.
Breathing exercises.
Yes.
And I did Headspace.
Okay, Headspace is this like meditation.
10-minute meditation every day.
Yes.
So those two things also I try to incorporate into my recovery.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's something you can add.
Yeah.
Don't overdo it. Like.
Yes.
10 hours of training, it doesn't sound that much if you say, okay, 2 hours a day, you have 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
But it's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Don't change your whole life just because you're training for an Ironman.
Yes.
That's what I would recommend. So I wouldn't change my everything and all the supplements and all the things I did around. Headspace and Wim Hof I did before as well.
Yeah.
So it was not because of the Ironman that I picked those up.
Yes. Okay. But it still helped you with like mental recovery and distancing yourself a bit.
pretty cool. Yes, to be in the moment and to be focused, it helped me a lot.
Yeah. Did it help you with the challenge itself also, like during your running and your swimming and stuff?
I think while you're running and while you're on the bike, a lot of times
focused.
While running, you're focused completely. Yes, you just run, and that's the great thing about it. Especially if you need to study a lot for medicine. Yeah. It helped me a lot to do endurance sport. On the bike, sometimes your thoughts, they are traveling around the globe, so that helps you if you just focus. I was doing a focus session on Headspace, and there you always had a pebble where you can focus on. Yeah. So I had like the letters on my bike that I focused on, and that helped me also on my long rides. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Do you still have anything that we didn't get into, like any kind of tips or tricks that you can do? Anything you feel is important that people should know? Or anything inspirational?
I think it's really important that you enjoy it. That's like for me the main thing. Yeah. Enjoy it. Don't overdo it, especially in the beginning. Don't force yourself to things. If you don't, you can start to force some things in the beginning. I think that's important. It's not gonna be fun all the time. Yeah. But if you don't like it, don't do it for too long. Yeah. Don't lose all yourself just because you're trying to get to an Ironman. Yeah. Enjoy the journey and see it as a journey. Also, the journey is the goal in this case. Yeah. And just to finish the Ironman, that's one event, 5.5 hours even. Yeah. Maybe shorter, maybe longer. But to have half a year or even longer, 8 months, in pain, just to have one great day, that's not worth it. Yes. So you need to enjoy those 8 months that lead up to this big moment. Yeah. And then it's really worth it.
Well, there you have it. Just learn to enjoy torturing yourself, and then you can do whatever you want. I think we've covered everything. Thank you, Matthias, for coming by. And I'll have all your information in the description. So if anyone wants to check you out, they can just do that there. Perfect. And yeah, I'm really grateful you came.
Thanks, mate. Thanks a lot.